Permanent Ink by Maxine on AO3. Chapter 3. The thing is that he hadn't actually thought about it in concrete terms yet. He more just instantly rejected the idea of Deku being his soulmate because it was the stupidest thing he'd ever been forced to consider in his life, but he hadn't gone deeper into, what it actually meant. What being soulmates implied. His brain dead ass noped away from the entire concept, and he was more than fine with that. It was ridiculous, anyways, and annoying as they had been, Mina and Kirishima maybe had a point. It wasn't a total unique choice of words, especially considering their chosen profession. He could possibly see it coming up again. Someone else might say it. Maybe. He stomped downstairs with the rest of his crew an hour or so later, and he was mildly surprised to see balloons and streamers and other similar shit hanging about, completely with a full breakfast laid out on one of the tables, though he had hoped had come from one of the few in his class who actually handled himself in the kitchen. Like Sato. He really hoped that it was Sato's doing. Katsuki hadn't celebrated a birthday with his classmates yet, so he was struggling a little with how to handle it. His birthday was so early in the school year that no one really knew each other yet. When he turned 16 last year, they'd been 6 months away from living in the dorms back then. This year, it seemed like everybody wanted to stop by and chat his ear off, which wasn't great for his temper. They were lucky he was showing his face at all, honestly, given that it was a Sunday, so he didn't actually have to leave his room. Happy birthday, Kachan! And then there it was, Deku. Katsuki flinched before he could even stop himself, turning slowly to face the other boy. He didn't realize he was holding his breath until their eyes met, and nothing crazy happened. What the hell was he expecting? That the heavens would open up and a goddamn choir of angels would suddenly start singing? It was still just Deku. Deku with Uraraka plastered to his side, her arm wrapped around his. What? Thanks, Katsuki finally remembered to mutter, sort of turning his arm so that the inside of it was hidden from view, which was totally pointless, since he made Kaminari wrap it half an hour ago. Deku glanced down at it anyways. Most of his classmates have been doing that before, eyeing him curiously after seeing the band-aids. Deku was the only one brave enough to question it. Not what you were expecting? I wasn't expecting anything, Katsuki said. People are just too damn noisy. He gave Deku a pointed look which had him laughing sheepishly. Do you know who it is? Uraraka asked, before apparently that was the only question anyone was capable of coming up with today. Nope, Uraraka pouted. Damn, she swayed into Deku a little, nudging his arm and grinding up at him. I had my money on Kirishima. Guess I owe Mina. Katsuki blinked. The fuck? Nothing, Uraraka said loudly, giggling as if she will. Nothing, Uraraka said loudly, giggling as she waved Katsuki off. Happy birthday, Bakugo! Then she was dragging Deku away and pushing him onto one of the couches in the common room, all but falling into his lap afterwards. Deku blushed a bright red, but he didn't shove her off. He just curled an arm around her waist and gave her a smile, and all of it looked as natural as fuck. Anything as though disgustingly clinging to each other was something they've been doing for ages. Katsuki's hands was curled into a fist at his sides without him realizing it. When the fuck did that happen? He asked, the open air in front of him, and then hoped to God that someone not annoying was nearby could hear the answer, and not ask him why he gave a shit. Luckily, Sarah had just wandered over with a muffin stuffed into his mouth, so close enough. What? Midori and Uraraka? Katsuki shot him a look and nodded. Sarah arched his eyebrow in return. Seriously? Like 2 months ago, man. Okay. Right. What? Are you shitting me? No, Sarah glanced over at the couple in question, a weird kind of frown tugging at his mouth. He beat me to it, but I don't even know why I was surprised. Should have seen it coming, really. Katsuki wasn't built for providing comfort and could barely navigate relationships at the best of time. So it took a few seconds, but eventually what Sarah was saying clicked, and he ended up just kind of cringing. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, but it's cool. They're cute. Sarah elbowed Katsuki in the side, giving him a sly grin. Besides, Midoriya turned 17 in July, so, guess we'll see what words he gets. Shit. Fuck. Right. Fuck. Katsuki had totally forgotten that this wasn't just a situation he was stuck in by himself. Soulmates involved two people. Something was going to show up on Deku's arm in a few months, so whether or not Katsuki wanted to hide this was immediate. So whether or not Katsuki wanted to hide this was ultimately pointless. Deku's words might just be a dead fucking giveaway. Why did this whole thing suck so much? Sero poked him in the arm. His gaze cut from Katsuki to Deku and back again, and Katsuki realized he'd just been staring there, wide-eyed and panicked, staring at the two on the couch. Are you sure you don't know who your soulmate is? Yes, Katsuki hissed, looking around to make sure no one else had noticed anything. Uh-huh. Shut up, just don't. Okay, bro. It could be anyone, he tried. He was reaching and he knew it. Could hear it in his voice, really. He just needed to stop talking. Sarah was watching him, calmly. I don't fucking care anyways. Okay, Sarah said again. Fuck off, Katsuki snapped. And then he stomped away and threw himself into a chair beside Kirishima at one of the tables. Right, so this was maybe going to be a problem. He wondered if he could get away with ignoring Deku until July, and then potentially continue to ignore him forever after that if it came to the worst. Logically, he knew that wasn't possible. Logically, he knew that would probably just make everyone suspicious that something was up. Because, unfortunately for Katsuki, he was actually pretty terrible at ignoring Deku, not to mention that they were well beyond petty bullshit like that. They weren't in a great place necessarily, but these days, after Komodo and their fight and sharing the secret of All for One and doing all their work study together with Todoroki and everything else that had happened, they were certainly way better off than they've been a year ago. They even trained together a few days a week, and Katsuki wasn't sure he'd be able to get himself out of that without raising a few eyebrows. All good? Kirishima asked him. I hate everything. Katsuki replied, voice flat and growing firmly in place. Life is a joke. Across the table from him, Tamanari nodded. Truly we are forever stuck in this madness banquet of darkness. Kirishima and Katsuki stared at him. A beat passed. Happy birthday, he added. Katsuki let his head fall forward to thunk off the table. Fuck birthdays. Denial is a river in Egypt. Izuku Midoriya, Ochako Uraraka is not your soulmate. I'm sorry, I just had to do that twice. Okay. That was interesting. The tea is sizzling. Also, was that just a little bit of Bakugo being jealous we got there? Like, Mans is jealous. Oh my god. Okay, I will be uploading the next chapter tomorrow for you guys. Make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds, and have a wonderful day or night. And thank you for watching.